Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about September 17th, 2020, new moon in Virgo. It will be at 25 degrees. And first thing I want to talk about, as far as its basic meaning, new moons in astrology can be about much enterprise and initiative. It could be embarking on a new endeavor. You may feel very rejuvenated, revitalized, and when you're talking about new moons in astrology, it can also be could manifest in discarding what is frivolous or superfluous, discarding what's unimportant out of the way. Anything that might have been conflicting with what you wanted to start may be tossed aside, and it's about often beginning something new. Being in Virgo, it might be with a lot of nervous energy, but Virgo energy is also what I call workaholic energy. Many people may be starting some kind of new employment or some kind of work related activity. It may not necessarily be connected with their employment, but just some kind of work project that needs to be done. September 17th is just going to be, it may be around 4 or 5 days from the beginning of fall, and many people might be starting to do some yard work and raking, and a lot of it could be those kind of activities during this time when we hit this new moon in Virgo. But the difference between that and a regular day is that there'll be more abundance of energy collectively to get those kind of matters done. And the thing about this too is that you're talking about when new moons in astrology, yes, they can impact everyone collectively, but especially in this case, being in Virgo, especially people, well, with a Virgo or Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant Virgo, because it's going to be in their sign. And then the zodiac sign Cancer, because of course, Cancer can be very strongly impacted by all transits and phases of the moons, because the moon does rule and govern the zodiac sign Cancer. This could be strongly attributed, I think, to why the zodiac sign Cancer can be rather moody, temperamental, and fickle, because they are so sensitive to these transits and phases of the moon. But anyway, well, a lot of this could be. When you're talking about it being the new moon in Virgo, it could be a new start for many in some kind of health regime. This could be something with fitness. You may see, I mean, this is the time too where a lot of people, I mean, you're talking about Virgo can be, I mean, Virgo can be associated with analysis and learning and assimilating data, information. So it could be too, this is the time where school is part of one's daily routine. Virgo can be associated with routine, the daily routine, and being ruled by Mercury can be associated with learning, but more it's like assimilating data and getting information. It's scholastic energy, I would say. Gemini is as well, but Virgo can, I see Virgo being, connected more. It's like more of a routine, and school can be, associated with one's, you could say, one's routine. Uh, and the thing about it is, a lot of schools may be opening up around this time. If there was any delay due to this coronavirus situation, you may see people opening the schools on some kind of a delay. When I went to school when I was in New York, it seemed like schools would open somewhere near, it was either shortly before or after Labor Day. So you're talking about fairly early September. So you might see some schools that might have been delayed, I would say, in their opening. Maybe they open at this point in time. So anyway, the thing about it too is you're talking about with this new moons in astrology. Well, it could be a new start for many people. Now, again, being in the zodiac sign Virgo, it could be, and again, Virgo can be associated with things that are intellectual and analytical, and that could include schoolwork. But anyway, many may be embarking on a new start connected with health, service, or fitness, a new diet. It could be some people may begin to compartmentalize things. I mean, if you have like a computer, it might be that time. If you haven't defragged it in some time, this might be the time for compartmentalizing, especially if this is, say, if it's conjunct one's Uranus in one's chart, or if it's sextile or trine Uranus, because Uranus can be associated with computers, or if it falls, say, in the 11th house, or even the third house. 11th house is the house that corresponds with Aquarius. 11th house I see being connected with computers, but the third house is associated with communication, and that could include computers. It could be a new time for organization. If your place has been disheveled for some time, it could be a time where you might get that abundance and surfeit of energy to be able to actually take care of that. It could be a time for some cleaning, some very you call it pre-fall cleaning, since, as I stated before, on September 17, 2020, we're going to be like maybe might be about 5 days, around 5 days before the start of the fall season. And it could be a time for doing some kind of starting something analytical, or some dissection. Analytical, I mean, work could be is something, I mean, diagnostic work. Say if you have a vehicle, say if this falls in your third house. Third house could be associated with local transportation, which can include vehicles. It could be something, if this is, say, making a conjunction to your natal Mercury, or even a sextile or trine to it. It can be a time for starting some kind of diagnostic work with your vehicle, analyzing, diagnosing some problems if you haven't done it previously. A new period of even punctuality. Virgo energy could be very reliable. If you're somebody that's been notoriously late for things and projects, or appointments, this could be a time where you might begin to make to really do something about that, and really be making good impressions on others. If this is in the first house, especially, first house can be about first impressions, so that could be very strongly tied in to making that kind of first impression on somebody, especially if you're going on some kind of interview and you're trying to impress someone, such as a prospective or potential employer or supervisor. Now, another thing too, another way this can manifest, I mean, especially if this falls in the second, sixth, or 10th house in one's natal chart, that those are the houses I see. I mean, those are the ones that are the money houses. That they are the money houses, actually, the career, work, employment houses. If it falls, it could be the start of a Virgo profession for some people. It could be starting something such as being a statistician, something with detailing, or professional cleaner or organizer. I believe those positions too exist that you may want to confer, check on it, but those are, do something with cleaning or organizing on a professional level where you're getting paid. It could be some health, start of something associated with health or fitness or diet, or starting a position connected with health or fitness, I should say. Could be starting something as a nutritionist, or somebody that is I forget what you call, but somebody that's like a mentor to somebody, like a fitness trainer. I guess I'm thinking of a fitness trainer for somebody. It could be starting a position as an editor or proofreader. Virgo energy can be connected with correcting and trying to make things as perfect and flawless as possible. It could be the start of extrapolating, some position where you're extrapolating data, you're projecting numbers for the future, something with data entry, anything that could, where you have to be very punctilious with details and very meticulous about something detail oriented. Could be computer programming. Now, it's important to look at the house it falls in, as that, of course, could impact the delineation and interpretation. Mine is going to fall in my fifth house. And of course, that can manifest in a multitude of ways. It could be the start of some analytical or intellectual amusements or enjoyment. This could be a period where, I mean, I plan on doing these football videos, of course. And many of you may know on I have a football YouTube channel where I make NFL predictions during the football season. Now, I do that every year anyway, but maybe I might be taking a little bit more seriously, and as far as extrapolating uh, sports, statistics, what somebody might do in that particular game, using more numbers than I usually do, statistical data, and more analysis, especially that it's actually going to be making a conjunction to my natal Pluto. But I'll get with you on that momentarily. Hold on a moment, people. Now, could it be the start of a new Virgo love romantic situation? That could be possible. Remember that the moon is connected with prominent females in one's life, and in some cases, when you have like a new moon, and you're talking about it being in that a certain zodiac sign, I do believe sometimes that can actually manifest in a start with somebody associated with that sign, somebody that has that sun, moon, or ascendant, in this case in Virgo, or could simply be someone that embodies those characteristics, someone that could be rather meticulous or persnickety or even pedantic, person that has very good intellectual analytical skills, detail oriented, somebody that has good work ethic, etc. So but it's also now I wanted to say if this falls in somebody, if you have this that falls in the person has this that falls in their first or sixth house in their natal chart. Now, in some cases, I do believe it can be some uh, could be some new Virgo related health related issues, such as something with the spleen or the pancreas. It could be a digestive issue or diarrhea or some small intestinal situation or ulcers, something. Keep in mind, we're not talking about a full moon or I'm sorry, like so we're not talking about a solar eclipse or a super moon or anything of that magnitude. So when you're talking about new moon energy, it's generally going to be on a wider scale, I would say, at least on average. So if this is the onset of something health related, likely will be on a very lower scale. Nothing really to do any Virgo worrying about. But anyway, now another thing to look at too is the aspects it makes to the points in one's chart. Is that, of course, could impact the delineation and interpretation. Now, mine, as I was stating before, excuse me, is going to be making a fairly tight conjunction to my natal Pluto. So that could give added fixated obsessive energy and more intense energy in what I might be starting on, which is what I was just talked about before. But also there might be more talking about having this transit falling in my fifth house and being in Virgo. Something was talking about for some kind of analytical amusement or enjoyment, but being in Pluto, it might involve more deep research. It might be trying to research certain things, whether it could be on certain people or some kind of birth data. Sometimes I have to really dig deep when I'm trying to find birth information on people, that prominent people, whether it's celebrities or prominent people that are in the news for whatever reason. Now, this could also be a time, Pluto is the planet of transformation, so it could be a time where I'm beginning to transform my home life, and after a lot of Virgo analysis, basically. Remember, we're talking about the new moon in astrology. It's more introspective than the full moon. The full moon is what is going to often come out publicly. I think in this, I'm really being positive, and this could be a very auspicious time right now. And going to the coronavirus pandemic, we're talking about Virgo energy. Virgo can be associated with things connected with medicine, health, and maybe this is going to be the time where these vaccines might be starting to become more prominent, or at least the idea of it is more reaches its conclusion, how it's going to be, what it's, as far as its development, what it's going to consist of, its composition. And keep in mind, we're going to have the full moon in Aries in October, and when we have that, that's going to be it's going to be something where it could end in a breakthrough. I mean, Aries energy can be pioneering energy, breakthrough energy, and it's also I noticed, I mean, a lot of this new moon in Virgo is going to be a time where people might decide to become more learned regarding health related matters. We're talking, it was something I saw online, if I'm not mistaken, that at least begins on September 17th. It was some kind of, uh, it's like some kind of meeting or learning, or a place for people to learn and uh, something connect to something like advanced stroke life support, meaning it's gonna, I don't know the city or state or location if that it's in, but it's something with some kind of a Methodist Brown, I believe it's Brown Hospital or Methodist Olive Branch Hospital. So this is something where I see a lot of people actually, if they hadn't become more knowledgeable about something health related, this is the time for them to actually do that at this point in time. And it's going to make a number of good aspects to Capricorn energy at this time. We might be seeing some kind of health reform um, start, maybe connected with as far as the government goes. And I think could actually be very good. It could actually be a very auspicious new moon. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.